Hey guys. Today I want to talk about what to bring and what not to bring to work, because I had a rather unfortunate flat last week. I had a big fat flat on the front wheel of a cargo bike the other day, and it was a 20-inch. We'll talk about why I had that flat, but the reason it was a big fat problem was that I didn't bring all of my gear. I didn't have my pump with me, which is just ridiculous. And it made me think, what else don't I have in here? This is my my toolkit work bag. This is where I keep my shit away from the customer stuff. And this has all the tools I need to be able to fix my life, apparently. Well, it should have, because it didn't have a goddamn pump last week, which it usually does. So today I figured I would use that as an excuse to show you what's in here. This has literally just been taken off of my bag and put on the table. So there's going to be things in here that shouldn't be in there, and there's going to be stuff that I need in there which are not. For instance, my pump, which is not in there. So yeah, I want to show you what's wrong and what should be in there. We have a bunch of shit. All right, let's see if I can make any sense out of this. Hey, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of that, I think. And there we are. Cool. All right, bag is empty. Put that somewhere. Okay, this is just not very organized, to be honest. Here's an inner tube, which has not been spent. That's because you should always have one inner tube the size of whatever you're rocking, which in my case is always a 700C, and that's how you fold them, by the way. And I always keep one with me that has a long valve, because you never know which bike you're on, and you might have a really big fat rim, so you need a longer one. If you have a valve that size, it's not going to actually fit through some of your bigger rims. So one inner tube, that's good. Here's another inner tube, and this is a different size. This is a 20-inch, and this is the root of the entire big fat problem I had that day, because this one has been patched twice in the same place, because I had twice the issue with my stupid flat. So yeah, that thing is, it's not dead, it's just friggin' annoying. And I have this probably was a bag at some point. I know why it's in there, and I'll talk about that. This was in there. I usually have a bag and a cloth in there, because I use that to clean up my chain, and I don't want to get all dirtied everywhere. So that's a kit, but it's not anymore. So screw that. Essential tool, absolutely cool. Yeah, tool-wise, you need that. You need a 15. I got this really cute one. Look at that. I love this thing. It is not as strong, so when you actually use it, I mean, because of the lever principle, right, you need to apply more force. I always bring these, and they're not honestly always in there. They're usually in the cargo specific bag, and then I might have another one in here. But yeah, I always bring something like this, which is just basically a strap to cinch down stuff to my whatever rack I'm wearing that day, or the outside of the bag if I'm feeling frisky. Tool-wise, always have tire irons, because that fits. Spoke tightener, nipple key. Yes, nipples. Keep your brass nipples lubed. Nipple tightener. I always keep that with me, and I rarely use it, but it's very good to have. And one that I actually didn't know was in there. Oil, lube for your shit. This is an artifact of what happened on that day, because one of my colleagues actually went out of his way and bought me a new 20-inch inner tube, because I had this issue with my flat. It was on the 20-inch, and he was a freaking champ. So thank you, Respect. Very nice. His name is Respect. Yes. So that's, off. And this bit of kit, which is a chain splitter that goes here, and you go through there. I don't know why this isn't put together anymore. It's probably been a little bit of a harsh adventure being in that bag, and I honestly don't use this very often, but when you need one, when you need a chain splitter, you probably don't have one. So you freaking just always put a chain splitter in there, and I probably just decided to do that because it takes up a little less space. Of course, it also needs a bit of a leverage handle in there, but you can just basically use your other tool to do that. So with this, you can split your chain, and you will need to split your chain if you ever have any issues, and that is the useless thing. Cool, that's what was actually in there. Am I seriously saying that all of the tools that I brought was chain splitter I rarely use, spoke tensioner, like nipple key that I rarely use, 15 that you basically always use, this thing that you always use, and something for flats. That's all you need? Yeah, and a pump. All right, so now I'm ready to repack this thing with the stuff, some of the stuff that was in there and some of the stuff that was not. So yeah, let me start with just the stuff that we already see. It turns out, I've gone over it a few times in my mind, and it turns out you can actually fix most of the shit on your bike with just, if you can take off the wheel, if you can replace the inner tube and all that shit, and then a few of the things I bring here I actually bring for other people. So these are the tools. Actually, those are the tools I use regularly. I mostly don't do anything to the bike that isn't just upkeep and maintenance, because if there's something really wrong with the bike, I probably would have found out back home and I could have fixed it, and I would have, or I'll pick another bike. The luxury of having crap tons of them. So yeah, I'll bring these for me. I usually have a full size 15, to be completely honest. I just thought this thing was so cute that I kept it, and I gave someone else, I lent it out to someone else, my full size 15, and I haven't gotten it back yet. So that's my life. These 3 items are actually kept mostly for other people, because if I ride fixed, I don't need to split my chain, and I don't want to true a wheel on the streets. There's just every once in a while someone loses a spoke and they have issues. I haven't needed this much on the streets. It's just kind of nice to be that guy who can split a chain and true a wheel on the go. So I'll keep them mostly for other people. And then there's yeah, the lubricant. I don't know. I mean, there's always someone who asks us if you have lubricant because they didn't do it at home. Or you ride by someone, you can tell that their chain is just going, could you just please, for God's sakes, let me lube your chain. So these items are actually mostly for other people. But that's how we ride, right? I love being sort of a community. Just like if someone offers you food at a customer's place and you don't like it, or you're allergic or something, take it anyway. So just like when you ride by someone and you get to just stick out your hand and hand them a Red Bull or something on the way. Community, man, awesomeness, we love that. Tools go in, boom, to the beam, to the bound. In you go. And I've been lucky with this, right? This has the child lock lid. If anyone else out there uses a Finish Line, you guys must have noticed that for a while they had this shitty child lock lid on there, and it always broke, and you got oil everywhere. Apparently, it doesn't break, so I'll be all right. Cool. Things I need in there that weren't already in there. The straps I was talking about, I'm downsizing to 1 because I don't need that many. Hey! Yo! Where am I? All right, I'm downsizing to 1 strap, so I'm putting the other ones and the longer ones and stuff, putting that in the cargo bike, and just keeping 1 here. That's always with me, so I always know I have a strap. You always want to have 1 strap. I'm going to put in a fresh new inner tube, 700, and this has a 80 millimeter Presta valve, which is what I want, because if I'm ever on like the Fuji or something with a big fat rim, this will fit through it. I'm bringing a fresh new 20-inch 451 inner tube as well, which is going to save my ass next time this stupid wheel has another flat. I have big issues with this size 20-inch. There's another 20-inch called 406, which is a lot better. Not only smaller and therefore stronger, but also it's the size that the best 20-inch tires are made in. So you can't really get really good tires in a 451. I don't know why the hell anyone would make. Whatever. Long discussion about that. I have a pet peeve and it's just a frustration about that. The Omnium cargo bike I'm on is a 451. Could have been a 406, but somebody bought the wrong one. Here it is, the baggie of the dirty rag. I clean my chain basically by taking the dirty rag out of here, and if I feel really clean, I'll use the bag as a glovey, sure, and clean the chain just like that. lube it up with the finish line, and I'm good to go. But you know, I usually do that back home, so it's a good kit to have, but again, mostly for other people if their drivetrain is all shit. I will bring suntan lotion, this time with a lid, so it doesn't spill out everywhere, and if it does so inside the kit bag. So there we go, suntan lotion. That hopefully comes back out when summer is over, because I might remember. For a while there, I always brought one deodorant, because you never know what you do after work, and we get pretty funky, let me tell you. So that can be sort of a way to not have to go home. You just you throw on a trucker's shower, and you're good to go. You're good to stay out for a few more hours or be social a little bit, even though you stink up the place. So you might lose the inner layer if you got several, and apply a little bit of deodorant, and yeah, you're good to go. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, my pump. This is a Topeak with a little stand and hand, foot, something. The only thing it doesn't have is a pressure gauge. That would be nice, but this actually can pump my wheels up to about a 7 or 8 bar. So good enough for a day of work, especially if you bring it. So I'm going to now bring it so that I don't have that issue again. Cool, and that goes somewhere in there, which leaves enough room for a lunch bag or something if I want. So that's kind of nice. And there we go. Toolkit bag now ready to go with actually the stuff in there that I need. And hopefully I haven't missed any glaringly obvious stupid things that everybody does bring. I think this is what I bring to survive. So there we go.